Welcome to my channel, Pakistan Freedom. So in today's video, we'll talk about Pakistan's relations with its neighboring countries. As we all know, Pakistan has got 6 neighbors: Iran, Afghanistan, China, India, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan. Out of these 6 countries, 2 are our friendly neighbor countries, while the other 4 are our enemy neighbor countries. Let's first start with our friendly neighbor countries, which are Iran and China. Iran and Pakistan have had good relations since the beginning. Iran was also one of the first countries to recognize Pakistan after it was formed. In fact, in the year 1951, a Pakistani delegation led by Liaquat Ali Khan himself visited Tehran, which was headed by Prime Minister Muhammad Ali Bogra. Both countries signed an agreement to settle their western border dispute. And from there on, both countries started working together on different projects. For example, in the year 1956, Pakistan and Iran collaborated on a gas pipeline project. Pakistan needed natural gas, and Iran had an abundance of it. So both countries decided to work together. They laid a pipeline from Karachi in Sindh-i-Kasa in Punjab. But unfortunately, in the year 1958, the project was halted due to some political issues. Then in the year 1974, Iran nationalized the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, which was a British company, and that created a lot of problems for Pakistan and Iran relations. However, in the year 1998, after Iran's president visited Pakistan, the relations were normalized once again. Now both countries are cooperating in various fields such as trade, investment, energy, and transportation. In fact, Pakistan is also part of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is a part of the One Belt One Road initiative by China. Now let's come to China. Pakistan and China's relationship is unique. It's an all-weather friendship. You've probably heard about it. In fact, many analysts believe that this relationship is purely based on self-interest. That's all. But I don't agree with this statement at all. Yes, both countries do have shared interests, but that doesn't mean that their relationship isn't genuine. The fact is, Pakistan and China have supported each other on numerous occasions. For example, during the 1965 war, when India invaded Pakistan, China openly supported Pakistan and made statements against India. Then in the year 1999, when the Kargil War took place, China didn't condemn Pakistan. Instead, it shifted the blame onto India. In fact, during this war, China kept on supplying weapons to Pakistan. At that time, General Pervez Musharraf was the army chief of Pakistan, and he said it openly that China is our all-weather friend. Other than that, in the year 2006, Pakistan was facing a lot of difficulties because of the earthquake that took place in Kashmir. People were living in tents. There was no proper shelter for them. At that time, China came forward and built houses for them. Also, when Pakistan was building the Calabar Dam, China provided it with the necessary machinery that was required to build the dam. Similarly, when the Gwadar port was being built, China invested millions of dollars into it. Not only that, China is investing billions of dollars in Pakistan through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. It's investing in roads, railways, power plants, oil refineries, and many other projects. Now let's come to Pakistan's relations with its other 4 enemy neighbor countries. First of all, we'll talk about Tajikistan. Pakistan and Tajikistan gained independence on the same day, September 1945. The first Prime Minister of Tajikistan, who was K. Ghaniv, paid an official visit to Pakistan in the year 1955. However, since Tajikistan was a part of the Soviet Union, it couldn't really do much. When Tajikistan became independent in the year 1991, then things started changing. Both countries signed several agreements in the field of transportation and trade. Pakistan offered transit trade to Tajikistan. This means that if Tajikistan wanted to transport goods to other countries, it could use Pakistan's ports. But soon after that, in the year 1998, when Pakistan tested nuclear bombs, it created some tension between the 2 countries. In fact, Tajikistan closed down its airspace for Pakistani planes. Then in the year 2001, after the 9/11 attacks, the relations improved once again. Tajikistan allowed Pakistan to use its airbase for military operations. In fact, Tajikistan is the only Central Asian country that has a bilateral agreement with Pakistan. Now let's talk about Turkmenistan. Before the year 1991, there were no formal diplomatic ties between Pakistan and Turkmenistan because Turkmenistan was a part of the Soviet Union, and at that time, it was known as the Turkmen Soviet Socialist Republic. But once it became independent, President Niyazov visited Pakistan in the year 1995. In the year 1999, Pakistan started construction on the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India gas pipeline. Turkmenistan was going to supply gas to these three countries. But unfortunately, the project was never completed because of the instability in Afghanistan. In fact, the Taliban kept on changing the deal every now and then, and that's why the project was never finished. However, recently in the year 2015, Turkmenistan and Pakistan decided to revive the project. They agreed to lay a 1,120 kilometers long gas pipeline that would transport 3.3 billion cubic meters of gas per day. Let's talk about Afghanistan. Before the year 1979, relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan were normal. They traded with each other, exchanged ambassadors, and maintained embassies in each other's countries. But everything changed after the Soviet invasion in Afghanistan in the year 1979. Afghanistan became a battleground between the Soviets and the Afghan Mujahideen. More than 1 million refugees entered Pakistan, and this created a lot of problems for Pakistan. Not only did it put a strain on Pakistan's resources, but it also created social and economic problems. Then, after the Soviet withdrawal in 1989, the civil war in Afghanistan continued, and this once again caused more problems for Pakistan. Thousands of Afghans kept on entering Pakistan, and this created a lot of pressure on the government. Then, in the year 1996, the Taliban came into power, and that created even more problems for Pakistan. More refugees entered Pakistan, and the Taliban kept on launching attacks on Pakistani soil. On top of that, they refused to return the Pakistani prisoners of war. In fact, the Taliban kept on threatening Pakistan to join them, and when Pakistan refused, the Taliban targeted Pakistani officials. A bomb blast killed 11 people who were attending a funeral of a Pakistani politician. Then another bomb killed 48 people who were attending the funeral of 2 tribal elders. So basically, the Taliban were trying to destabilize Pakistan. However, after the 9/11 attacks, the Taliban regime was overthrown, and the relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan started improving once again. Pakistan joined the U.S.-led war on terror, and that helped improve the relations. But once again, after the U.S. left Afghanistan in the year 2021, the Taliban returned to power, and ever since then, the relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan have deteriorated once again. The Taliban have kept on launching attacks on Pakistani soil. Recently, the Islamabad airport was attacked by the Islamic State. More than 100 people were killed. Also, the Pishan Valley in Chitral is a very sensitive area. It's located near the border with Afghanistan. This area has always been a hub of militant activity. So basically what I want to say is that Pakistan and Afghanistan's relations have not been good throughout history. There has always been some problem or the other. And the reason for that is that the Durand Line, which is the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, is not internationally recognized. In fact, the Afghans consider it an artificial line. Finally, let's talk about India. Pakistan and India's relations are very complex. It's hard to describe them in just a few minutes. We all know that they've fought 3 wars, the last one being in 1971. Ever since then, both countries have not had good relations. They keep on fighting over the Kashmir issue. Sometimes it turns violent, and there are cross-border attacks by Pakistan on Indian soil. Even the people of both countries don't have good relations. Just think about it. If someone says that he's from Pakistan, Indians will hate him. Similarly, if someone says that he's from India, Pakistanis will hate him. And this hatred has been going on for far too long. There are several reasons for this hatred, but I won't go into details here. The main reason is that both countries have a special focus on propaganda. Since their independence, both countries have promoted hatred against each other through their media. Here's a classic example. During the recent cricket match between India and Pakistan, Indian actor Amir Khan's old video resurfaced in which he said that intolerance is the biggest problem in India. He gave the example of his film PK. He said that people should not be so narrow-minded. But then a Pakistani anchor started using this video to promote hatred. He said that India is a terrorist state, promotes communal disharmony and extremism. What I want to say is that both countries have a special focus on promoting hatred. If they used the same intensity for development, then both countries would have been far ahead in many fields. But anyway, that's not the topic of this video. So we'll leave it here. So that's all for today. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think about Pakistan's relations with its neighboring countries? Also, if you liked this video, then please hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, then please do so.
Thank you very much for watching this video till the end.